Welcome back to AM Northwest. As America's 250th birthday approaches, K2 is looking at some of the history of the Pacific Northwest. Today, Dave Selesky gives us a closer look at the Spruce Goose and how the aviation icon made it to the Pacific Northwest.
Here we go. It's 55, more throttle. It's 60, it bounces to 65, it's 70.
November 2nd, 1947. A historic flight that would last less than a minute.
He surprised everybody and just shifted from taxiing to flying.
We were airborne for just a moment, and we were really up in the air.
Howard Hughes amphibious wooden airplane, the Spruce Goose, taking flight over the Pacific Ocean. Hughes and Henry Kaiser were commissioned by the government to build the 8-engine flying ship during World War II. Kaiser later left the project. Known as the H-4 Hercules, aviation experts say it was actually made of birch, much of which came from here in the Pacific Northwest. The construction was not without controversy.
Howard Hughes had been called on the carpet by the Senate and accusing him of wasting money building this, and so he was pretty adamant that he was going to make it fly or he was going to leave the country.
We were airborne for just a moment.
While it did fly, the first time would also be the last time.
He got it up to about 70 knots, pulled up, flew it about 25 feet off the water for about 30 seconds, and then landed it and put it back and never brought it out again.
Following the flight, the eccentric Hughes became more reclusive. The museum where it was parked was Disney-owned. The plane sat for years until it made its way here to the Pacific Northwest.
They disassembled it, packed it up, and some of it came up on trucks, some of it came up by barge up the coast.
A slow journey, to be sure. Both the Willamette River and Oregon's winding roads were used to transport the plane.
They pulled it in and then put the wings on. So many Oregonians still don't know that it's here.
Where it's now on display in McMinnville.
What we have here is the cargo area. Everything you see back here is wood. This is not metal. Basically 95% wood.
Carefully nestled in the Evergreen Air and Space Museum.
But each one of these stations that you see with all this equipment were monitored because, again, they were testing whole new systems that had never been run through the ringers before. These were for Howard's favorite fluids, so usually it was tea and water. I assume there was coffee at some point, but he always had to have sweet tea. It's a football field wide at the wingspan and 200 feet long. So it's still one of the largest aircraft, even compared to 747s and so on. But it really led to some of the bigger discoveries and movements in aviation after the fact. So everything from the flight controls to navigation and so on, a lot of things were brand new to this aircraft that were being essentially prototyped for the scale of this.
Now, this amazing piece of aviation history is part of Oregon history. Dave Selesky, K2 News.
Thanks, Dave. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.